I'm going 3-0.
It's game day! Welcome to Rugby League in the West. We are at Hartfield Park for the massive clash. Once again, another test for the Willagee Bears. This time, it's the Fremantle Roosters, and the Roosters have named a strong team.
They've named a massive team. A huge team.
Yeah.
They're both huge teams. Mate, it's Friday night footy. Where else would you rather be on a very wet and somewhat cold Hartfield Park out in Forest Field?
That's going to play a factor, isn't it? The conditions are a bit different to what we've been used to here in Western Australia. We've had a sustained period of rain. Is that going to stifle the way that the Bears have been playing. Undefeated so far in season 2025. Is that going to play into the Roosters' hands? Because you're right, they've named a very good forward pack that should suit these conditions.
I would look. If you know anything about Hartfield Park, it does hold water a fair bit, but we haven't had a huge amount of water. It's been very, very sporadic today. If you're watching from interstate, it's been very un-Perthish, I must say. Usually we get a massive downpour over a couple of days. Winter's trying to push its way through. It's going to be slippery and wet and greasy though. So I think with ball movement, ball in hand, that'll be important today. If you can maintain ball in hand, you've got every chance of being able to, move the ball up the ground and score some pies. As we say, this is important, Don. The team of the week, and have a look at that spread there, the amount of players in that team that are going to be on the park tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty fair list, isn't it? Leno Nona Bush there in the 12 is the interesting one for me, moving across from the Ellenbrook Rabbitohs, a real hard-working player, normally in the middle of the field, not on the edge as she is in this team of the week, but she'll do a mountain of work, I think, for the Roosters tonight. She's the big one to keep an eye out for. But Katie Horner, Mahina Rangi, it is a big side. Claudia Foster, it's a side that is dominated through the middle of the park, and I think these conditions will suit the Roosters. My tip, I think the Chooks will be the first team to knock the Bears off.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a cracker. I think it'll be just as good as it was last week. Of course, it was the Bears and the Rabbits last week. I think this will be an absolute cracker, and I hope for a lot of fast-moving rugby league. First hit up, Don, off you go.
Well, that first hit up is Lena Nona Bush. Taking it up for the Chooks. They've got first use of the ball up against the undefeated top of the table Willagee Bears. I love hearing that, but it might change after tonight because the Ellenbrook Rabbitohs with the bye as the Roosters go straight through. Well, that is a great run there. And Tonijevic Bunce goes straight through the heart of the Willagee Bears, and it's Lena Nona Bush. Again, with the next hit up, working through the middle as you'd expect. Now that the short pass to Henry. Now it comes with Norton. Norton puts a little kick through, looking for it to hold up in the in goal. And it does, and they'll do well to get back in the field of play. They won't.
It's a bit of a makeshift setup down there. It's the first time, Don. It actually is the first time we've done a premiership game at Hartfield Park.
Ah.
We've been, as you may recall, we were down there a couple of years ago for the Harmony Cup.
Yep.
That was a cracking Harmony Cup that day. It just felt like the entire suburb was just rugby league central. But yes, the first premiership game we've done at Hartfield, home of the Kalamunda Bulldogs.
Oh, and a knock on there from the Roosters from that goal line drop out. That's those slippery conditions. Yep. She waited as long as she could. The ball had just about stopped and still made a meal of it.
Yeah, it'll be slippery and greasy out there. There's no doubt about that. And that you could just see it looks. There's a bit of mist around. You can see the breath too. It's cold. It's wet. It's not very pleasant. It's the first scrum for the evening. Inside-outside ball. First use for the girls in red.
Going to be an important set for them, coming out of their own end. They have. I must say the Bears have started a little tentatively. If I
think that was lost the hinges. Locked that on.
Well, the Willagee Bears have been so hard at everything.
Yeah, they do look tentative, don't they? They look. I tell you what is strange to me, Don. Just seeing our good friend Nona Bush in the red and the blue. I'm not used to that at all. That's very foreign to me. Of course, the absolute champion for the Ellenbrook Rabbitohs, and now come south. You can see, look at that. It is absolutely frosty. There'll be some finger snapping weather out there. I don't think we're due for any more precipitation this evening, but it still won't be.
Well, it has been a miserable. Oh, wow!
That's how many.
It has been a miserable day, and it's been a miserable start to this contest.
Yeah, and as I touched on, that's going to be difficult. And it's not going to get any easier either, because the night is going to get even more dewier. You can see the dew in the air.
You can blame the conditions if you like, but that one is just thinking about what you're going to do with the ball before you've actually caught it. That is rugby league basics. There'll certainly be a few that you can put down to the conditions. I don't think that's one of them. As Brianna Young gets set upon there. They know that she's going to be a key player for the Bears, and they were up in her face. The Roosters, they have come out all guns blazing here at Hartfield Park. The Bears getting out of dummy half. They're getting a taste of their own medicine. But we've seen Willagee over the last few weeks do this to other teams. And the Fremantle Roosters are really muscling up right now, and the Bears have to stay with them. They're getting through this set so far. As it comes now, Canacosa gets absolutely creamed. Hodgson at dummy half. Well, they're going to watch her as well. They go back for the kick, and it'll be Bert Pollier to put it down, straight down the middle of the field, down to Ratene. Gets away, gets a little bit of a pull on the pigtail. Not picked up by the referee. She readjusts the ribbon. No penalty for the hair pull. Norton now works it from dummy half. The Roosters, the first time they've really had to work it off their own try line. It was a good kick from Bert Pollier. Now they've got the Roosters down their own end, and once again going through in a half break. I think that might be in Konievic Bunce again. That's the second time. Like, she was the one that made the long break before. Made a half break there, and then it puts the Roosters on the front foot. A good kick down to Canacosa, who puts on a nice little move. They go out to the outside. They take on the sideline. Always dangerous in slippery conditions. Well, suddenly this game has settled into a rhythm, Dave.
I was just about to say, it feels like the Bears have now woken up a bit. A couple of good runs. That set they just had was pretty good defensively. And if it wasn't for that kick, it sort of took a 45-degree angle on the bounce.
Acker gets that one flat-footed. I don't think she was expecting it. She makes the best of it, plays it back to Hodgson. Bert Pollier goes right to the line. Holds the ball in two hands, put down late. Well, the Roosters control the ruck really nicely. Another little bobble. Hodgson takes a run out of dummy half, and the markers weren't square.
So I don't know whether she saw that, but I hope she did, because it was the last. She's running straight from dummy half, so maybe she's just taken a chance there. Thought, well, marker's not straight. You see it here on replay. Yeah, she's almost lost that ball there. She had a look to her left.
I reckon that's a rough call, if I'm honest, but the markers looked okay on the replay.
Yeah, I think she was lucky there.
Hodgson. She was another thing, some great content from NRLWA during the week. They listed some players they think that might be able to make it through to NRLW with the Bears coming, and Hodgson and Beth Norton, a couple of players playing tonight that made that list of 10 players. There's some really good players in this competition.
Really like it that we're talking about the W franchise already.
Yeah, already.
I love it.
Why not?
I think it's fantastic.
Why not?
Well, those that are watching, if you know anything about, obviously we've been planning, we've been hoping for this for a while. There was a period a couple of years ago where the talk was from the highs up that we were likely to get a W franchise before we were going to get a a men's franchise. So that's obviously turned on its
I
head.
actually thought a few years ago would have been a great time to
we
bring it
won
in.
we won the championship.
We had a lot of very good players in Western Australia at that particular point in time. The competition that the W franchise, the NRLW, was sort of fledgling comp, and I thought the gap between what we had and what the NRLW had was a lot closer than it is now.
But if you've watched the State of Origin series,
it's gone from strength to strength.
What a cracking series! Just some of that ball movement and play, just
Back here at Hartfield Park, the Bears on the attack right now. Bert Pollier, very physical number 7. She's ridden the ground there by Foster. Plays it back to Hodgson. Turned underneath. The Bears looking for first points in this game. Held up and driven back into the field of play. Emma Taiti. Now they take on the line. Williams. And we've had a whistle.
Hey, can you come out? No, now. Where's the captain?
Oh,
he's calling out. And Tonjevic Bunce has been called out.
Around the neck. Yeah, you see it there on replay. So, be a penalty. No send off.
I think the penalty's fair enough. I don't know.
100%.
I don't know that the.
It's great refereeing.
The stern warning and all that was.
If you grab a player around the neck, I don't know. It's an area that we are.
The Bears come up with an error.
Yeah, it is an area that across all divisions of the game, all grades, we are conscious of. The handling error there, and ball handling's actually been pretty good since we spoke about it not long ago.
It was very sloppy. Yeah. There was 4 or 5 errors in a row, that's the first error for 5 minutes or so. So they, as I say, they've warmed into the game.
I don't know about you, Don. I reckon their goalposts are a bit wonky. I'm pretty sure I think one side's higher than the other, but that's why I love community footy.
I know you got levels on the cameras and all that sort of stuff, so I'm going to go with the camera might be straight and maybe the goalpost not. I don't know.
I'm not sure about that. have to get it right.
Maybe the camera's on a bit of a lean too.
Oh, he's a good run.
The leaning tower of Hartfield Park. Well, that is a piggyback there for the Roosters. They were struggling to get out of their own end. They were going
defensively
nowhere.
Defensively, the Bears have been good. And when you mention it, ever since you've mentioned it, they were a bit off. It's almost like they took a while to warm up.
Well, you said it was cold.
It's cold.
You said it was cold.
Yeah, you can physically see the dew in the air. It is hanging around. If you know that area as well, it does that. So that isn't smoke. That is actual dew in the ground. You can see it's coming out of there. Oh, look, driven back again. Defensively, they're up and about, the Bears.
Well, they've turned up the heat. And now it's Fremantle that need to find a response. Tonjevic Bunce to dummy half. So I think it might be Turner Wallace to dummy half, and not the best of passes.
Testing.
Knocked on. It's going to be a complaint from Foster.
Well, it was a shocking pass.
It was a bad pass. It was definitely knocked on. Foster is saying, who was it that knocked on? I love the referees. I don't know who it was, but somebody knocked on. I saw it.
Someone in blue.
Come on, back in. Lock these in. Make sure you can get it through. Wait!
So I know you've been getting a couple of messages. I'm not sure if you've got the referee's name. I know a lot of the referees here in Western Australia, but
we've had a couple of new ones.
He's not one that I recognise.
And I've got an update. If we remember last week, we didn't have a ref at one stage. We were wondering if the game was going to take place.
Hand on the neck, I believe it was from you, but if it wasn't, just make sure you go back and tell your team neck one's down, all right?
It's a line in the sand.
Well, he's been very stern on this, and once again saying pressure on the back of the head. You got around the neck, putting pressure on the back of the head. It's a second one. You do it again. Someone's sitting there.
And I think you could take from that. There's obviously a directive from the highs up. So the The referee issue last week, Don, I can say, exclusive here on Friday Night Footy, he didn't read the call sheet.
There you go.
So I didn't know he was supposed to turn
Didn't know
up,
he was supposed to be there.
Didn't know he was supposed to be there. So that was the issue, because we were concerned that maybe something had happened as we get another one helping him up the ground.
Kidder Manning Daniels just too long in the tackle, and a fair penalty. Obviously a different situation to the last couple of penalties. So no need for further action, but the Roosters are on notice. And the Bears, well, they've kicked it into touch and then they've all walked back to halfway. I don't know where they're all going. Someone's going to come up and take the tap. We get underway and Samoa takes the hit up and is put down. Hodgson gets to dummy half. Comes towards the middle now with Daniels. Daniels struggling forward. Oh, it's put down there. On top of Manning Daniels. Now they go to the line, short pass from Frost Kelamete. Hodgson again at dummy half. We go out to Bert Pollaer. Bert Pollaer goes out wider. Williams fires a pass on the bounce. It'll be picked up, cleaned up. And they do well just to stay in the field of players. It all breaks down a little bit there for the Bears. They try and right the ship through Brianna Young. Met solidly, quick play the ball though for Hodgson. Hodgson stepping, weaving, goes down to the left-hand side. Again, they've run out of room, and the last tackle, Bert Pollaer will be tackled, and they'll hand it over. Well, didn't force the play there, like it broke down, could have easily forced a pass and come up with a bad option, but just takes the tackle. Roosters right in the corner. It's not a bad place to hand the ball over, David.
Well, they've been there for a long time now. I'm really surprised we've gone 15 minutes or so and no one scored yet. I think, was that a high? Yep, we've been camped in this area for 15 minutes. I think the Roosters at this stage have done well to keep them out. Referee's name tonight is a three. I love this, 3 names. Damon Hickman Blair.
Damon Hickman Blair.
I like that.
There you go.
Sounds like he should be owning some property in southeast England. But
running a law firm all by himself.
Yeah,
Damon
actually,
Hickman Blair.
100%. But I tell you what, there's some youth coming through the referee ranks, which is fantastic to see.
Easy for you to say.
Not really.
Where's he come from?
I don't know.
The Wefawee Wanks?
Wefawee Wanks. Another one.
It's later on Friday night. No quick tap. Says law firm Damon Hickman Blair.
Just a flailing arm there.
Yep, you're right though, it has been fast. Where it's 16 minutes gone, it's 0-0 on the Westpac scoreboard. Short tip on play there from Foster. Finds Tua. Tua's driven backwards, so a slow play the ball. Turner Wallace. Goes out to a stepping Foster. Goes out to the right-hand side. The Roosters are away with Brittany Price. She gets reeled in. Comes to Turner Wallace. Goes to the middle with Peters.
It's a good crowding tonight.
You can hear them.
Yeah, they are vocal. Oh, we've just lost that one.
That one's put down. A chance now. Still on the boot. Can Norton get to it? Taps it back in the field of play. We're going to go with the first knock on. And the referee's indications first knock on Roosters. That wasn't the... Surely it's got it.
No?
He's putting a scrum down. It is going to be Roosters' ball. Just the way he was signalling looked... He's got a Message from one of the fantastic players in our competition. Wants to know if the referee is getting paid tonight per penalty because he's blown a couple.
Oh, can we call that person out?
I don't want to. No. She knows who she is.
They say, there is the live commentary section on the stream. Feel free to share your thoughts there on the live chat.
Oh, Wallace dummy. It's a double pump and then went herself. Norton to dummy half. Gives the short pass. Dummy on the outside. So work towards the line now. That's King. Norton outside, inside play. And the Bears, well, they had to be awake to it. Pass comes out to Foster. The ball again hits the ground. I think there's a knock on there.
I think
playing on. Played the whistle and
the referee.
We did hear the whistle.
The assistant had his flag up. So.
Well, there was definitely a knock on.
Yeah,
for a moment there. It was like, well, everybody stopped. We actually saw that in the women's Origin game. Last night.
Yeah,
the short kick-off where all the players stopped, didn't play to the whistle, and basically forced the referee to make a call that she didn't believe happened. Once again, the defence holds up there for the Bears. The Roosters threw a few shots at them. Some nice little outside-inside plays and asked some questions. The Bears up to the task.
Oh! In their defence, not a great pass. You had to take that literally on top of her shoulder. So... Oh no, maybe I've talked that down. So she's just spent it again before she's had it. And they're giving the Roosters every opportunity deep inside their own end.
Still waiting for first points, and you don't get too many better chances than this. Inside the 20, centre field. What have the Roosters got? Comes across with Paul. Paul gives a short pass, and
offensively.
It's Swinell with some. Comes out wide now, the Roosters. With Price again. It's Paul. Turner Wallace to Foster. Through the hands. Just make sure all the defenders have to be awake. They were on that occasion, but a quick play the ball. Again, the ball hits the deck, Retene. Again, it hits the ground. They just knew there was space, but it's gone forward. Well, it was good vision. They knew there was space out there. They just had to get it there. They didn't care how.
She's mistimed her run there, though. It wasn't a great pass to begin with, but there's plenty. They had plenty of numbers there. And I think you've got two teams at the moment, Don, that want to run. They want to run. It's a bit of an arm wrestle at the moment, so yeah, plenty of space on that side.
Well, the other thing is they want to use the ball. Yeah. They want to throw the ball around, but obviously it's not conducive to the conditions.
No,
and we said it during the fuel to go and play Premiership game last week that the team that settled down and started playing the conditions was going to go on to win the game, and that's as it turned out in the Willagee South Perth game. Last weekend, and it might be a similar story here tonight. A team that can settle down, play the conditions, control the ball, control territory. It's a pretty simple game, rugby league, as I always say, mate. You do the simple things right, you'll give yourself a chance to win.
Dragons were pretty simple tonight, mate.
They did a lot of simple things right.
Impressive to watch against the Knights. It's a good game, actually.
I was actually a bit disappointed that we might not have got much of a chance to have a chat to the guys in Darwin tomorrow, but it looks like we've had a change of schedule, I might be able to let Kyle Followery know about what happened in Start of Origin on Wednesday night. We're back here, and the Roosters, after tapping that up to her own advantage here, Nina Ratene returns it for the Roosters. Ducking down low there early was Hodgson. Got in position to make the tackle. Always be dangerous getting down too low too early. Well, she survives to tell the tale. Now with Nonna Bush. Back in behind the ruck. She does that so well. Always finds that space. Probably been one of the Roosters' more dangerous players there, MJ. The kick goes down now. The Bears, they take it through Gillard.
There's Bush again.
Release.
She's had some moments, they'll continue to kick to her, but she takes that one well. Now the Bears trying to get back on side. Work it out of their end. So get into this nice little rhythm again. Just waiting for someone to blink.
17.
Nowhere at all to go.
So that's their third tackle. There you go. My God.
With the stats man, hard at work. Writing them down. Now the Bears trying to find some space in behind the ruck. Frost Killamade.
Oh, not help.
Told she's allowed to keep going. Broke through the tackle. It's a good run on 5, and Norton almost gave away the penalty there on last tackle. But Pollard puts the kick down. Off legs, it's gone backwards. It wasn't pretty. The Roosters do come up with the ball. We had a scoreless half yet in
I don't think we have.
2025.
We're just playing between the 40s at the moment, aren't we? It's good. It's good footy. Arm wrestles.
Well, a soft penalty there, really. I mean, we've been rolling for a while. Wasn't much in that in terms of slowing the ruck down. Finds a reason to give the penalty. Wind them up and let them go. Huia Swinell loves the tough stuff. Jersey 24 tonight. Going deep into the kit bag. It's Norton, inside pass, not a Bush. And getting at a dummy half and gets the pass back to Norton. Tony Bunce has been great. Norton steps past, she's broken 2 tackles, but runs straight back into the 2 players that missed up. Gets shut down. Now comes for Paul. Paul gets that pass away around the corner. Out to Price on the wing. We know she's got some pace. Whitney Price, we have seen it in previous seasons. Kwan explores down a short side on last tackle. I don't know that she knew it was a last, and I don't think that was quite the option that the Roosters were looking for. Although there's some tired bodies out there.
I'm not surprised. It's been impressive defensive efforts from both sides. Again, they seem to want to run the ball. They want to move it. I think they just need to just complete your sets, get up the ground, just look for space, and then try and make something happen. But they seem to be doing it, trying to make something happen on every set. We see half a break there.
Well, I said a moment ago, Dave, that the first team that settled down and played wet weather football might go on to win it. They both did it at exactly the same time.
They did, yes. Yeah.
So now it's a matter of who's going to blink first.
I do know they have both camps always in Friday Night Footy. They've got our call on the sidelines. They do, because they think, Jesus, they need to know, what's going on. The best analysis in the game, of course, of us two here.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Turn it up.
You're not wrong.
We might actually have a scoreless first half. That will be a 1st and 25 as the ball goes over the line.
And again, clever play. Get to the end of the set, put the kick down
Yeah,
into a corner.
Big crowd
slow
up.
things down.
Big crowd at Forest Field.
Key mark, 2 markers there now.
They're smart footy. And that's what I've been impressed with this young Bears outfit, is they're playing smart footy. They've built the team from nothing, because it's their first season back. In fact, I can't remember actually, have we seen the Bears?
I think they have played in previous iterations, but it's been fleeting.
Yeah.
I think they might have started a few seasons and not finished some.
Yes, I do remember that, yep.
A very competitive side that they put together. Very competitive. They're top of the table. So now the Roosters. Up over halfway. Plays it back to Horner. And we've got another penalty.
Offside. That was on last too, so they've just moved them up the ground even more.
It's
Not sure what it is there. Is it what just had the wind knocked out of it? What's it here?
Horner asking the question.
Oh no, she's just hyperextended the. Oh, it's the knee, I think. Hyperextended the knee.
Down awkwardly, and certainly a little coming off a bit proppy.
So she landed on her foot and then put pressure on the leg, gone the way it shouldn't have.
Certainly in some pain. Mary Jane Tonjevic Bunce has arguably been the Roosters' best. She's made one clean line break, a couple of half line breaks. As we resume play here, and another high shot. On King. The siren sounds.
both captains here.
He wants to have a chat to both captains. He's had a couple of little conferences. Had a few with the Roosters early. Now the Bears have had a couple of high shots. Yeah, just sort of lazy shots late in the half. As I said, fatigue starting to
again,
play a role.
both sides look like they've been gassing, and again, hard and fast. Oh, they've been sent.
There's a 10-minute sin bin.
Just wait.
Veronica Alex on my sheet.
On the two.
Penalty to the Roosters.
So going for the
35 out. And it looks like they're going to have a crack at 2 points to break the deadlock.
Now this is
The
where I
half-time
agree.
siren
This
is already
where I
sounded.
agree. Yeah, this is where you have a crack now. You're not going to be able to really get up from.
You'll be all right.
Yeah, you can either try and manufacture a miracle, or you can try and take it too.
Does Beth Norton have the legs from here? Certainly a long way from a gimme. I don't think she's going to put it beyond the dead ball line, so the Bears might have a chance to actually return this if she doesn't kick it. She looks confident. She'll put it over. I'm backing her in. Moves in. Not the best of strikes. As I said, the Bears will get the chance to return it. They'll just take the tackle.
I think there was a groan from either her or one of her cohorts. As soon as she made connection with that, she knew it was. I think she kicked it up and
I think
under.
she might have connected with the grass before she connected with the ball, unfortunately. So at half-time.
That's our first nil-all half-time, isn't it?
No. Yep.
Nothing wrong with that, because it's been a great half of footy.
I mean, sometimes you see a nil-all scoreline, you think it's been a dour, horrible game of rugby league, but I think both teams have asked questions of one another. They've been answered. Certainly there's been some mistakes. It is wet weather footy, as you'd expect, but I think it's been a great half of footy, very competitive. Looking forward to the second half for sure.
Don't go anywhere. Take a quick break. We'll be back for the second half shortly.
Well, g'day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Hartfield Park for the second half of this Westpac Women's Premiership Round 5 clash between the Willagee Bears and the Fremantle Roosters. We are... Don't adjust your screens. It is the start of the second half, and the scoreline is still 0-0. No points have been scored in the opening 30.
They got to start with 12.
Well, 30 minutes and 7 seconds, as it says on our screen. But
the truth.
Oh, my entire everything is a bit jank, but it's okay.
we're the Roosters to kick off.
Okay.
My camera's been nothing but a dream.
All right, stay behind.
Zero issues.
Hickman Blair. The referee tonight blows his whistle. A little bit of a bobble there from Kate Williams before she hands it off. And we are back into it. Corner in the tackle, along with Manning Daniels. And a mistake from the Bears. And the Roosters will get the first opportunity of the second half.
Well, that is exactly not what they wanted to do. I know it's a silly thing to say, but when you're only down
to 12,
down
as
to
well.
12, and you then, with the first hands-on set of hands, and do that, you just open the door and say, hey, walk through, why not? Have a go. They'll be, they'll do well to keep
a very
that,
interesting decision right on half-time. Put a player in the sin bin. He had given a couple of warnings out, but the Bears, unfortunately, wear the brunt of. It was predominantly really the Roosters giving away penalties that got the warning, but it was the Bears that end up in the sin bin. So they're down to 12 the first 10 minutes of this half. It's like Brian Toto right on half-time on Wednesday night. The State of Origin game. Also an interesting sin bin decision, but we'll stay with this game here. As it goes to Horner. Straightens, tries to go through the middle, almost comes out the other side. Just holding on there, Hodgson, doing the best she can. Now with Manning Daniels, straightens off the left foot. Towards the try line, tackle 5. Again, the Roosters asking plenty of questions, and the Bears, they've got the answers. Norton dribbles one in behind, tapping that one back. It's still there, and a try! Heather Mato scores for the Roosters.
She just dabbed at that. I'm not sure what she was doing. She should have wholeheartedly pushed it over the side.
Well, just a nice little kick from Norton.
This one here.
Gillard tries to tap it over the dead
doing?
ball line, but barely touches
Just
it.
thump it. Just thump it.
The try, the first of the game for the Fremantle Roosters. Lead 4-0, kick to come.
It's a big scoreboard. What? Yeah, I know. What?
Because we're at the home of the Kalamunda Bulldogs. They played earlier on this evening up against the Joondalup Giants. Both looking for their first wins of 2025, and it was the Giants with a 62-12 win. Get their season off and running.
How long has she got left?
6 minutes, 45.
Here's Swannell. Looks like she's hobbling from the field. Well, we've just seen a conversion attempt from the sideline. We just managed to catch the flags going up. And it's 6-0. Well, that's a fair kick from out wide. Roosters lead 6 points to 0 on the Westpac scoreboard. Just 4 minutes into the second half, and they're punished for their mistake.
Wait
So the Roosters, after points, you'd imagine this will be a fairly physical set. Goes to Foster.
What's your thought about it?
Had the arm free and thought about getting the offload. I don't know whether that was what the side needed. She does hold on to it though, as King.
Really?
They get through, get to their kick. Norton gets plenty of it. Sits up there for Canacosa. Spun around. And put down. Now the Bears. Good strong run from Young and Hodgson. No surprise on the back of the run from Young. She takes a bit of a look out of dummy half. Generally gets a quick play the ball. It's not a bad player to run on the back of. McNally. Hit hard by Horner. Frost Kilometre. Play it. There you go. Deep back for the kick. Gets underneath it and a little bit of a juggle from Rutene. Grabs on it about the fourth attempt.
Should use the knees there as well.
Use whatever you've got. There's a good run and gets the offload away.
I lost it.
Back to Mato, who drops it.
Double knock on.
Knock on both ways. Now the Bears. A player down in the bin. They've dropped 6 points. They won't want to fall any further behind as we have another look at the try scorer. Just, again, a solid shot over the top, forcing the mistake.
Put your arms in. When you're ready.
There's winding the clock down and a mistake. They'll get to pack another scrum and take a few more minutes off the clock before they get their player back from the send in. I don't know whether that's exactly the way they wanted to wind the clock down, but
around the ground, thanks to Cash Converters. Earlier game, it looks like the Bulldogs at home have gone over twice. They have two.
Three times.
3 times. They've scored 3 tries, which is fantastic. The first time they've scored points. I think it might be. I think
you might be onto something.
So they went down in the end. They went down 12 to 62, but I'm pretty sure that might be the first time they've scored points. They've done it on their home deck too, so glimmers of
yep, you're right.
Of the just the seeds germinating there, which is fantastic to see, and a big crowd too. What do we got there? Offside.
Whole left side up.
Whole left side offside. The Bulldogs with their first points of the season. The Giants with their first win of the season.
I was just putting some thought into obviously the bye this week. It's Ellenbrook, and they got beat last week. If you watched the game last week, if you haven't, why don't you jump on NRL Pathways and have a look. It's a cracking game.
I wonder who's in charge of updating the ladder, because I did
yes,
notice
it is yes.
I did notice Ellenbrook have already been given their 2 points for the bye. So they've gone back to the top.
Yes, yes. I'm not sure about that.
I've adjusted it for this game. The Bears still on top until this one is done, but if the score stays as it is, the live ladder, the Ellenbrook Rabbitohs are back in the top spot right now. See an underneath pass from Horner.
Terrific.
That'll be Foster to play the ball. Goes out to Norton. Norton gets it wider. They hit the gap. They've got numbers out there. The last pass has been ruled forward.
As the heavens open up.
Well, you've lost your job as a weatherman. You said there was no
horrible.
more to come.
Shocking. Well, I've actually said that a few times today,
Yeah,
Don.
no, it's just wishful thinking.
Wow. Just have a look at the radar. I think I'll give up on that.
Just wait after the scrum. Who you going up?
And I tell you what, so the Bears will be getting back to 13 very shortly, but this won't help their cause. They've got to reel in 6 points.
Well, again, they've got to get back to settling down. They've made mistakes galore to start this second half, which has made their job a little harder.
Although as soon as we've spoken about it, looks like it might have... No, still coming.
Still coming down.
Still coming down.
Well, Hodgson out of dummy half. A nice little step. And a penalty. Hickman Blair. He again wants to have a chat to both captains. He loves a chat, Damon Hickman Blair.
I haven't been down so far. With that though, it'll be predicted now, but tell your players that any tackles, like using a high, will be set down, okay?
We could do this all day, Damon, or we could play some footy.
Yeah. I think
you've given your message. Move on. Let's go. Let's get on with it.
I did actually. Did I hear him rightly when he said, "I haven't been counting"? I hope not. Might have misheard that. But he's just concerned about a bit of muck in the ruck, holding on there. I don't think it was that bad.
It was a long conversation. Gives the Roosters a little bit of a breather before they have to get back into their defensive work. Now the Bears. Well, this is going to be tough sledding from this point on. Look at the rain coming down. It's not for the faint-hearted here at Hartfield Park. The Bears go up over halfway. Hodgson to dummy half. Bert Poirier, dummies on the inside runner. Takes the run herself. Keeps driving the legs going forward. Hodgson goes down a blind side. Comes back to Bert Poirier under some pressure there.
Oh, they sort of have that.
Nicely taken by Paul. Was under a bit of pressure. There was a few Bears around. Takes the catch well. Katie Horner going through and putting pressure on that kick. Oh, shot. As the Bears coming up out of the line. Good shot there. From Frost Killamette. Now the Roosters dummy to the outside, getting up quickly and shutting it down. McNally. Quan plays the ball. Just looking to find the grass as quickly as possible there, Turner Wallace. Go a bit of a shift, it comes across, dummying and trying to go through now, Retene. But they all move up. The head hits the ground pretty hard there, Nina. Norton. Gonna put the boot to work, gets plenty of it. Sits up nicely for... But now the Bears down this right-hand side, they come back infield. Well, that's a great kick return there from Gillard. A little bit of a push there in the ruck.
Still going at it.
Acker beats one, beats two, beats a third. Still going, Adrian Acker. That's an inspirational run. Bert Poirier to dummy half. Goes to Williams. Williams fends away from one. They're rolling forward and they get the penalty. Well, the Bears will want to get on with this.
Yeah, they want to go quick.
They don't want a conversation this time. They want to get on with it.
Cool.
Here they go as here come the rains, the heavens. They have opened up. Will the Roosters open up anytime soon? Frost Kilometre says, I'll take the first carry. Let's set this up. We need points. Trying to barge over. Togiono will play it back now. Hodgson out of dummy half, beats the first. Uses that great footwork. Keeps struggling towards the line, but will play it back to Bert Pollier at dummy half. She gets Alex into position. Alex, tip on play.
Good coverage.
Well, the Roosters defend it well. Bert Pollier will have a crack. Gets down low towards the line, but
short.
Isn't quite there. Hodgson fires it out to space and picking it up and going for the line. They get out wide. Great pass. They hit the corner. McNally scores. Out wide. Brianna Young couldn't get there herself. Gets the pass out wide, and Tara McNally gets the Bears first. 6-4 kick to come.
Jeez, I tell you what, they looked like they were going to put a bit into that. They had to work hard. That left edge at one stage, I thought the pass was too loose. They had some good work done on the right side, opened up that space on the left. You can see that really coming down. What a good time to score that try, Don. It's going to be a daft kick. I wouldn't put money on it, but
We think.
it's good time to score it. It is absolutely coming down.
Not a conversion attempt. I'd back myself
No,
to
I
kick.
wouldn't put the house on this.
We've already seen, the Roosters' conversion was from out fairly wide. Maybe not quite this wide.
No. Not much wind, however. So not much wind. In fact, I don't think any wind at all.
The approach to the ball, though, is not going to be
Yes.
easy. Gives it everything, Acker, but it will be waved away. So 6 points to 4. The Roosters retain a slender advantage. Still plenty of time left. 13 minutes on the clock.
No, you definitely do need to play wet weather footy.
Well, you've needed
But
to.
when
from
you say
the
that,
kickoff.
though, I mean, that try came from 3 blistering runs, especially with that far edge. A great kick return. That was a wet weather footy. That was fantastic. Running the ball.
Well, there was some wet weather stuff leading up to it. Like
yeah.
it was, they bashed down the door, and then Ruby Hodgson got the ball, and there was space. There was no Roosters out there. Just threw it to space, and it was great work from Brianna Young. The Roosters scrambled really well. It was great rugby league.
Oh, it's great. It's great to watch.
There was nothing wrong with the way the Roosters defended it. They just ran out of numbers in the end. Togiono has dropped the ball.
Oh, right after points.
Oh yeah, a player name that I recall from a different sport and a different season.
I am surprised that she's the one they're giving it to return the ball.
Seen her play a bit of gridiron.
Yes.
In the off season.
There's a few of them actually. The Assam combination.
Travis Haney in the field to go and play Premiership, one of the stars of the Swan City Titans. So Roosters feed the scrum in good position, but they come up with an error. How often have we seen that tonight? I feel like that's the 4th time, one off the ruck from a scrum win, there's been a knock on.
Yeah, I think that is again, I reckon she's taken her eyes off. Look, it was a great pass, to be honest. She had to jump in the air to get it, but I think she's probably spent that before she's had it. I reckon that's a bit of white line favour there, Don. They're within the in-scoring range. They've just turned the ball over after they've conceded points, and they're probably a little bit too keen to get back on the scoreboard. Here's a great run.
Brianna Young once more. Another good carry. Hodgson doesn't go for a run. She's almost every time Young has a run, Hodgson goes straight after it. Doesn't on that occasion.
Crowd's up and about now.
Well, you can hear them. They're starting to make some real noise. You're at Hartfield Park. This one's got some meaning behind it.
Oh,
the ball comes free. There were hands all over it.
Say?
What's the ruling going to be? It's going to be a penalty for the strip. Yeah, and that's a very, very good call. So I thought it might have been ripped out. The replay shows it beautifully. It was a pretty easy call, really, from the referee. Hodgson gets it onto Tapawega. Tapawega will play the ball. Just step off the right. And Daniels makes an important tackle. They again look to go through the front door. And there's a great shot. Manning Daniels down low. Hodgson goes from dummy half, still has a crack, reaches around and somehow gets it down. Well, twists and contorts her body, and the Bears hit the front. Well, she is some player, is Ruby Hodgson, and comes up with a big, big play right there.
Now, am I right in saying, Don, that is the first set completed after points? I think I'm right. Is that correct? Am I correct?
Well,
I think that is the first set that they completed since
scoring points.
Yes.
Yeah, you might be right there. Both teams coming up with a few mistakes.
Got our friend James Sally Sullivan ringing him up here. We got to complete after points.
Well, the Bears in front for the first time in this game. Now the Roosters, well, they've got to find a response. Back up.
She does her best to miss but gets it
it's funny, isn't it? She moved in more confidently with the kick from the sideline. Yeah. When you've got one that you're expected to kick, she almost stabs at it.
Yeah, dabs at it. Yeah, at the end, doesn't matter. She just scraped it in.
It goes over. They're all worth 2 points. So 10 points to 6 on the Westpac scoreboard. 52.5 gone, so 6.5 to play.
Stay behind. Off the front.
Of course, 7.5 to play as here my good friend Noelsy Johnston's ringing in my ear. Stay in school, kids. Now Samoa. Well, there's a penalty to the Bears for the Roosters being offside, but I think some of the Roosters are complaining to play the ball before. There might have been a little bit of a bobble from the Bears. So it's compounded the frustration of the Roosters, and it gives the Bears a chance to come down into Roosters territory. A try here, and it's just about game over. The Roosters defending for their life in this game.
Oh, and
again close the gap, and another penalty. And again,
this might be a card. Well, I think it will be, yep.
And we have a look at the replay. I tell you, there's not much in that. It's Michaela Turner-Wallace sitting down for the final stages of this game. That is a safe play penalty. That is not a senior rugby league high tackle. Yeah. In a close contest.
Make it difficult.
That's a big call.
Although, in fairness, I don't think the first one was a 10 either, so.
Evened it up. The Bears, they still have their chance to put this one to sleep. As Daniels tries to barge over. Watch Hodgson from dummy half. Goes across Young. Always hard to stop. Hodgson has a look now. Once again, Young plays the ball and Hodgson goes from dummy half. Young not looking, and Nona Bush dives on the ball that was left there loose.
There's no
a mistake from the Roosters.
Oh, no!
They dive on the loose ball. Brianna Young celebrates. The referee will consult with the touch judge to see how it came out. He's going to point to the spot. And a try to Brianna Young. Well, that is as opportunist as it gets.
Don, I did what they did. I looked away for 5 seconds. I looked away, I wasn't paying attention. Look up, they've scored a try.
Well, it was just a case of whether it was knocked out forward by the Bears. That was the only question. I don't think it was. I think it was a loose carry, a good shot, forced the ball free. Yeah. Just late in the in goal, and
you could tell
Young could not believe her luck.
Yeah, and immediately the look on the Roosters' faces, you knew they were in trouble. You almost didn't need to speak to your touchy because the Roosters gave themselves away. Then now you suggest that it is game. Well, I'll tell you what, there's plenty to be said about this Bears side.
Well, again, I keep doubting them, and they keep proving me wrong.
Yeah, last week I thought they were going to do what they did. I thought being at home, we saw a similar game with the men at home, up against the league leaders. It's had the same sort of flavour to it, bit of spice in it. I thought they were every chance. This week they've been challenged, and the Roosters have not been bad by any measure. I mean, they've had their opportunities in this game. This Bears outfit.
Well, they scored first in this second half, the Roosters, and the Bears made a couple of mistakes. They were down to 12. Again, they were given every excuse to quit. They were given every excuse to go.
It's the maturity.
It's too hard tonight. Like, it's raining, it's cold, we're behind, we're down to 12, the ref's against us, like every opportunity to quit.
That is what's
and they didn't.
Impressive about this team. The maturity, a young side, what are we in, round 5? Round 5. Five games into their first season back in the top flight, and to be doing this. And you're against, look at the names in this Roosters side.
Yeah.
These, from a rugby league perspective in Western Australia, they are household names. They're Premiership winning players in that team.
This is a forward pack to be reckoned with that the Fremantle Roosters have put out in the park. This is a forward pack that should just dominate weather footy. And the Bears just haven't. Their resilience is quite something to behold and be appreciated. They've done a great job once again, and just look at that set after points. Get through their set, complete, put it down into a corner, into touch, just controlling the game. That's game management. There's just so much to like about what they're doing.
Even off the park as well, their entourage is going with them. And look, admittedly, this is technically a south game, but they are bringing their supporters with them. And that's something that hasn't necessarily been true in the Women's Premiership, because we do play sort of a carnival type round, don't we? Where one team hosts all the games, and quite often you'll see the home team finishes and there's not many hanging around for the last game. But the Bears are bringing their supporters with them. it's fantastic to see. They're up and about. It's the year of the bear.
I tell you, a big rap I think needs to go to Prouty. The coach is doing a great job with them as well.
Absolutely. Those, not just himself, but the whole committee, the whole club, they have worked their guts off to get to this position across the 2 senior grades. They should be absolutely lauded. I know we're only a few rounds in, but I can't see anything going backwards from here.
Well, the Roosters, they get through their set, get to their kick as well. As we wait for another siren to signal another Willagee Bears victory. And it is going to be punctuated by another penalty to the Willagee Bears as well. But a few of them go their way late in this contest, but has certainly helped. As the siren sounds, Aka kicks it into touch, and we'll have to have one more play. I don't know, the Bears, they might just tap this and kick it into touch. Or are they going to try and put... No, they're just going to kick it into touch. That'll do us. Game, set and match. The Willagee Bears remain unbeaten in 2025. A come from behind 14-6 win over the Fremantle Roosters.
And they retake #1 position on top of the ladder. And I tell you what, I'm just having a look at the ladder now, Don, and it's all been done in the back. It's all, the defensive efforts are fantastic. Defensively, for a team that's so youthful and wants to run, they seem to be, judging on these numbers, they seem to be building these results off the back of really strong defensive efforts.
Well, I mean, conceding just 6 points tonight is... there's not too many games that you see in this competition where a team concedes just 6 points against quality opposition. I mean, I think the top 3 teams have really opened up a bit of a gap on the rest of the competition. It is Willagee, Ellenbrook and Fremantle, the 3 dominant teams in the comp right now. But yeah, to concede just 6 against a team like Fremantle is a testament to their defence. And in tough conditions tonight, it was really, really, it was tough rugby league there.
Tough sitting here watching it.
Up in the hills of the bottom of the hill there at Forestfield, and yeah, it's a great win for them, and another great win.
Yeah, if you just joined us, it was 0 on half time. We commented what a cracker game first half it was. An arm wrestle between the 2 20s inside. Back and forth, and in the end it was the Roosters that broke it open pretty quickly in the second, and then the heavens opened up, and at that stage I thought, well, bad timing. Well, they also went down a player, did the Bears, and I thought, well, this isn't going to be good. They need to be able to reel in this advantage, and they scored 2 quick tries. They did it with a player down as well. An impressive performance, a really impressive performance.
As I say, I mean, I've seen the Bears a few times now, and every time you think, well, that's going to be the straw that just causes them to just give up. You know, tonight's too hard, and they keep digging deep and finding ways and finding reasons to continue to compete. And they just compete for the full 60 in every game I've seen them play. And Bears fans are going to hate this, but I'm not tipping against them again. I just won't. I'm tipping the Bears every time. They keep making me look silly. They're doing some great things here in the Westpac Women's Premiership in 2025. And we've got another big day coming up tomorrow. Hope you can join us. And,
yes, another double hit. More Bears action. We're back at Weber Park tomorrow for the Bears and the Giants. We're hoping that, I believe the Giants might have a few players back, so hopefully there's a cracker there. And of course, there's the double header. We're going from Bears and Giants up the top end to Raiders. No, we're going up the top end to Dragon Sharks. Correct me if I'm wrong. So, big double header.
It has changed a few times.
Has changed a few times. You can actually,
24 hours.
if you are watching from interstate, if you're watching from the NT, you can actually watch Raiders and Brothers on a separate stream, which is on NRL Pathways. But the double header for us tomorrow will be, brothers, so will be Bears, Giants, Dragons, Sharks. I got there in the end.
Sure. I'm sure everybody knows what it is. Whatever the games are, they're going to be great because we're going to make them great. And,
100%.
No, I'm looking forward to the games tomorrow. I've thoroughly enjoyed this one. The Willagee Bears beating the Fremantle Roosters 14 points to 6 to take themselves back to the top of the Westpac Women's Premiership. Thank you very much for joining us. See you next week.